Hello and welcome to The Absolute. In this video, I want to talk to you about how to navigate the EFT tapping sequences and how they are actually all laid out, which they will be all in a similar layout as you progress through each of the videos. So first off, you'll notice that we start off on the karate chop point, which you would have seen when we went through where all the meridian points are and where we tap on each part of the body. Now, when we start on our karate chop point, in each tapping video or each sequence video, you will find that we will do the phrase and we will repeat the setup phrase 3 times. So when you go into each video, you will be able to see the PDF version of each tapping sequence, and you'll be able to just see what the setup statement is. You can read through the setup statement a few times before you begin the video, so that way you know what the setup phrase is, and you know if you don't catch it when I say it, you'll know what it says anyway, and you'll be able to repeat along with it. Now, again, that setup phrase is repeated 3 times in every video that we will do. Then we will move on to the sequence part. Usually we start with acknowledging whatever the fear is if we're doing a fear sequence, and that will be acknowledging, okay, well, this is how I feel during this fear, and that will be round 1 of our sequence tapping. Now, the second round will actually be releasing that fear or releasing those feelings of that fear, and that will make up the second round of the sequence. We then move on to the third round, and that is replacing that fear with the positive outcome. So that is what we want to actually achieve, and replacing that old fear with new beliefs. And that is probably the most important part that we will do, is actually reverting that and putting that positive spin back into our subconscious. So as we have it for each sequence, we have got our setup phrase, which we repeat 3 times on our karate chop point. We then move throughout the meridians of the body, always coming back to that karate chop point. We repeat 3 rounds, and then at the end, we're then going to do a finishing statement with the karate chop point, and that is just really then acknowledging and just finalizing that sequence. Now, you will find that most of the videos are in this order or in this framework, but sometimes you might come across other videos that I've done and it might only include 2 rounds in a sequence. And that is because it could be a gratitude sequence, so we don't really need to do the 3 rounds. All my videos will generally include 3 rounds or 2 rounds in each sequence, and most of them go from between 5 to 7.5 minutes. So there you have it. That is how the framework of each EFT tapping video will be laid out, so you know how to move through each video. And like I said, feel free to read the PDF before you continue on with the video. And I strongly encourage using the videos because they will help you to internalize it better and bringing those fears from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind, because not only are you then hearing them and then you're speaking them, it is a really great way to just really get into that rhythm of doing the breath work beforehand, getting you in and setting that intention for releasing that fear, completing the sequence, and then finishing off with the breath work of just really feeling that release come through. Now, also one thing to note with EFT tapping sequences of how they work, they are really great for releasing that fear and, like I said, bringing that subconscious fear to the conscious mind. But it's not just as simple as that. What will then happen is your brain will start to figure all this out, and you will then, as you go about your day, you will actually start to release these things in the physical form. So you might have days where you are just so depleted and you just can't stop crying for a day. That is a good thing, because your subconscious mind is actually reprogramming and putting everything back together to actually move you forward in life and to take away all those barriers and blocks and masks that have been built over time. So just remember, it is the EFT tapping sequence that you do is not just going to be this instant quick fix. It's to then lead you into that release of energetics to move yourself forward. The EFT tapping sequence is just part of the process. The second part will be that actual releasing of it from your entire body, but it is the framework to rewiring your subconscious and conscious brain. I hope that explains how each sequence will work, and I hope you enjoy it, and welcome to the Absolute. I'll see you in the next videos.